Family First New Zealand has been speaking up in the media for over 8 years on issues that matter to your family. Here's just a few examples.
The lobby group Family First is furious at this week's planned launch of the violent video game Grand Theft Auto. The game, among other things, allows players to buy cocaine, run over civilians in cars and shoot police officers.
He tono nā te rōpū Family First kia whakapiki anō te pakeke o te inu waipiro ki te rua te kaumāta.
But Family First New Zealand, which advocates for strong families and safe communities, says there is no place for topless sunbathing on our public beaches.
I think it's totally wrong to do that.
What about the calls from Family First, which have come out this morning from Bob McCroskey, about the right to silence law?
But first, sex in school.
We go back to the classroom to learn what kids are learning about sex.
We're just saying, hey, look, it's just a physical act. As long as you wear the condom, you can basically get away with anything.
Their faces are becoming familiar, and the reaction of horror is always the same. Now campaigners want everyday people to stand up and be counted.
But some see the idea of a kids' hotel as a convenient way out for parents who put their own lives or career first.
Family First says the court's decision is a disgrace.
We have deemed in our legal system that the right of the pornography industry to advertise on a main street is more important than the right of families to be protected.
Family breakdown and decreasing marriage rates are costing New Zealand taxpayers at least $1 billion. A new report commissioned by Family First shows even a small reduction in the family breakdown and increase in marriage rates could mean a significant savings for taxpayers.
Explicit graphic violence. Not exactly family viewing, right? Well, definitely not, says Family First. They've already called for the film Wound to be banned.
Joining me now is Bob McCroskey from Family First in the studio and women's health doctor Carol Shand.
I want to know why the law and why people aren't going over the real perpetrators, like with Nia Glassy and Coral Burrows and the Kahui twins.
We've now got a number of things kicking in. We've got increased mortgage rates. We've got GST kicking in shortly.
Family First have released a survey. It's called Young People and Alcohol, and of course the alcohol reform bill is something that's going to be kicking over this year.
A lobby group Family First is urging the government to vote against the marriage amendment bill that would allow gay marriage. At a Parliamentary Select Committee hearing today, the group presented a petition with more than 70,000 signatures of people who want marriage to remain between a man and a woman.
And this is a question I want to ask Louisa, is once you change the definition once, what stops you changing it again? I mean, if you take away the regulation of gender, why not the regulation of number?
Groups from the other side would say that you just don't understand child poverty, you don't understand inequality, you've forgotten what it's like to be poor, you live in Parnell, you know, have you forgotten?
No. The argument is once you redefine something, where do you stop? I mean, what's wrong with 3 consenting adults who want to get married, or 4?
When Family First launched a Protect Marriage website today, the website was attacked by hackers. It's still down and its creator received nearly 100 hate emails.
You're back with Q&A and the panel, Raymond Miller, Bob McCroskey and Anton Blanc. Gay adoption?
No, because I think a child deserves a mum and a dad.
A Divorce Made Easy website has been launched today. The site says it can help reduce the cost of a marriage breakup. The Christian lobby group Family First says the concept is both tacky and destructive.
Well, they are confused. I mean, what that question actually showed was that 3% couldn't figure out what their gender was. And I think most people would raise their eyebrows and say, well, surely you know what your biological sex is.
Joining me now is Dr. Miriam Grossman, a psychiatrist from the States who writes about the harm of sex education. She's been brought out here by Family First.
I don't think the question is when do we begin sexuality education? The actual question is who does a sexuality education.
So you agree that it should start when kids are 5?
No, my argument is simply that parents determine what kids need to know at the suitable time.
When does a unborn child have a right to life? At what point in their life?
Well, you speak biologically, life begins from the very start.
Conception.
Yeah.
If I send my child to school and they've got different shoes to what the school says, or they want to go on a trip to the zoo, I've got to sign a note. But when it comes down to a serious medical procedure like an abortion or what to do with an unwanted pregnancy, suddenly I can be excluded from that situation and my child can be sneaked off.
I'm on Guyon's team and I need you to vote for us because we need to equip and encourage parents to step up to the mark and be the best parents they can in New Zealand. And I think job description 101 for parents is a roof, a shelter for your kids and food for your kids.
All right, very powerful stuff. Thanks very much, Bob.
Family First's making no apologies for a report that claims too many New Zealand children are spending too long in daycare.
Ka tahi nei tēnei ripoata mo ngā māma ngā punatia ki tamariki me te oranga o te tamaiti ka rewa.
The Family First organisation says there have been 10 suspicious child deaths in the past 17 months. That's these 7 children and 3 other newborns.
That's why we want an independent watchdog, because I think when social workers are making crucial decisions, often subjective judgments based on the information at hand, then they need an independent watchdog that ratifies what they've done, gives the public confidence.
Family First says it's written to New Zealand booksellers asking them to steer clear of the title.
But what these groups are doing is shutting down any image of a father feeding a child, and I think that's a great image that we need on TV at the same time as saying breast is best.
She'll vote next month at the local church where she still teaches Bible class. Education, she says, is vital and it leaves no excuse for young people not to vote.
In fact, Marion's is one of the more liberal ones because it talks about not only people who might die within 12 months, and there's plenty of examples of people who've well outlived the diagnosis that they've been given, but it also talks about mental or physical illness that is unbearable.
I appreciate so much Family First and what you're doing. It will make a difference in the future.
Since we started Family First in 2006, we've had literally hundreds of radio interviews and TV appearances, and been quoted in countless newspaper articles, speaking up on family issues. But we're not about making a noise for the sake of it. We're concerned about the welfare and protection of families. We can help give you a voice, so that together we put family first.
Join our campaign to protect families. Be informed. Be equipped to speak up. Support this important work. Visit familyfirst.nz.